Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Ayleen, and this is another daily dose of medicine walk. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, this is Healing House Radio. So as we go more into, that topic of empathy and being empathic and what that means, I wanted to talk a little bit about transference. And it is something that is an issue for empaths because transference is when someone creates a story in their mind regarding someone that may or may not be true, but they're basing it on their experience, much in the way that, say, someone who's a professional therapist, someone who is a client or is a patient will talk to them and they think, oh, well, this person really understands me. They really listen to me. They really, they really get me. And somehow in their minds, they start to shift the relationship from a professional one to a personal one. And they actually start to create that idea that the person who is currently, their therapist has feelings for them just because of the way that, they listen to them and understand them. And this is probably one of the biggest issues that empaths can encounter because we have the capacity to understand almost everybody. And if somebody's explaining a problem to us, we can listen compassionately. We can offer insights based on their energy and what it is that's going on inside of them. And so it really seems as though we are really, really in sync with them. And that can be a problem when the person that we're talking to or the person we're helping goes into a story of, oh, this means we're meant to be together. And I've had that case happen a few times, and I've had to have the discussion. And I want empaths to understand that it's okay to set boundaries. In fact, it's a really good idea to set boundaries. And we have a hard time, empaths have the hardest time holding their own boundaries, or at least unmanaged empaths. And as you're working towards gaining that mastery and gaining that ability to hold that in that good way, it's good to be able to mix a bit of objectivity in it. And, there are many times when I'm counseling and working with people and suddenly, they want to just hang out and things like that, which, I generally have no problem doing that, except when it's someone who I'm working with and we're working through a process. I feel it's important for me not to become too involved in their personal lives, that, they're coming to me for counseling or they're coming to me for guidance, or if I'm a chiropractor, they're coming to me for treatment, and, we end up talking. So the idea, and this isn't just that, when you work with people and, they're vulnerable and you give them a safe space, a certain friendship can develop. And I have developed some amazing friendships from people who I've worked with. And I kind of am able to shift it sort of, out of that, we keep the professional and we keep the friendship. Now, that being said, I am a very solitary person. I'm not someone who, goes and socializes a lot. I'm very content to be up on my mountain, either playing my video games or, doing videos or researching things that are interesting to me that I feel will help my work, in whatever capacity. So I'm not a tremendously social person. Now, there are some empaths who are very social. And if you're working with someone, if you're, kind of in one of those really sort of intense spaces with them, and you notice that they're calling you a lot, you notice that, they're just like tweeting out of the blue, and it's like, well, what can I do for you, or how can I help you? oh, well, I just wanted to talk and I just wanted to chat. And, and it's not about blaming people for going into that mindset, because it is a very comforting place to go. And empaths are very comforting people to be around, because they rarely challenge in a bad way, and people feel good about themselves when they're around people who are empathic, because we can be very understanding and very compassionate. The thing is that if you see that something is going into that direction, it's very, very, very easy to get caught up in, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings by rejecting them, or this person has rejection issues, so I don't want to go into that. It's no. You need to be able to set those boundaries that you're comfortable with. And I've, every once in a while, I'll have somebody come up and we'll talk about the fact that they're having an issue with someone they're working with, because that person is now, well, we're best friends and we're going to hang out and we're going to do all this stuff. And they really don't feel that. And in some cases, these are empaths who are already in a relationship, and, and the person really wants to ask for a lot of time from them. And if you're the kind of person who, yes, people like talking to you, people, feel very comfortable with it. If you're starting to feel like you don't have enough space to yourself, then you need to create that space. And don't count on someone else being able to, kind of pick up on your clues, or whatever. You can't be subtle. You can be polite, you can be compassionate, and you can still be firm. So when you're dealing with people who seem to be taking a bit more than what your agreement is, if your agreement is that you're going to provide counseling for them, or if your agreement is that you are, working with them to, help them through something, then yeah, that's fine. Just remember to, business, and friendship. It's really, really hard, and it gets even trickier when those thoughts of that person go romantic. If you do not feel that way, if you do not have that, and keep in mind, your empathy is going to want to resonate. And it's, if you think, well, maybe I am having feelings for them, maybe you're just resonating and you are feeling what it is that they feel, as if it's your own feeling. So make sure that you are very, very clear, especially if it's going through a romantic doorway, that you are able to have that clarity to be able to say, oh, okay, am I attracted to this person? Am I drawn to this person? How does that affect the dynamic of the work that we're doing together? Do I see myself really wanting to return those feelings? And, maybe you're an empath who isn't involved with anybody, and you're looking for a relationship. It's okay to do that, as long as you're very, very clear on why. Because that's the one thing that often empaths have a difficult time with, is they'll suddenly find themselves, or I'll be talking to them and say, well, I don't know how I ended up, but I agreed to do this thing that I didn't want to do, and I don't know how I ended up. It's like, yes, you do. Your empathy got away from you. You gave it the gavel to your council. You made your empathy president of the board, and it said, oh no, we're going to do this because everybody else wants to do this, and we're going to go along. No, you don't need to do that. Empathy is a tool that you use when you need to use it. And even often when I'm dealing with people, I don't actually engage empathy very often, because I honestly don't have the need to. Once we reach the place where they're comfortable talking to me, and I'm comfortable talking to them, and it's like, oh, okay, and there's not the barriers, then there really isn't a need for empathy, because then communication is open. If somebody, is kind of feeling uncomfortable, or they're having a hard time putting something into words, or they really want to say something, I can use my empathy to help them feel safe enough to choose to do that. But the choice is theirs. So anyway, transference is it's an inherent issue with people who are empathic. And, it also can go into, the place where if somebody decides, that you're the one because you understand them and they feel so safe around you, and maybe they have a problem taking no for an answer. If it's going through that doorway, don't treat it lightly. You need to, talk to somebody about it. You need to say, make it very clear, okay, this is not going to work between us. This is not what I choose. I'm not going to change my mind. Don't leave that doorway open, because, your empathy is on the inside trying to pull that door open, and they're on the outside trying to push the door open. And so that whole concept of where your choice comes in. Don't let your empathy take away your choice, and don't let your empathy lead you into a situation that you're going to have a difficult time getting out of. Because, it's very easy for us to, be that perfect mate. And, we had another video where, we are at the same time the most and the least desirable mates. And part of that most desirable is that we can basically adapt ourselves to whoever we're with. We resonate at their frequency, and therefore we're everything that they need. So, sorry about that. That was my computer. So keep that in mind. Always be aware of yourself. Always know what it is that you want. Always know where you're at. And if you're in a counseling situation, always keep it professional. Don't let it go into places that you're going to end up having a hard time getting out of. So, good luck with that. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you have a particular situation that you would like some extra insight on or some input on, then please feel free to contact me. You can reach me through the comments section. And for those of you who are listening in on Blog Talk Radio, you can go to the comments section there for the video. And I also encourage you to follow the link in the description to the YouTube page. And you can also follow me on Twitter, and you can connect with me through my Facebook group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Ayleen, or you can simply use the email address that's in the description and send me an email, and I will be happy to, give you the best advice that I can. If you like this video, then please press like, and if you would like to share it, if you think somebody else would benefit from it, then, that would be great. And if you really like the channel and like what's going on, then please consider subscribing. I'm at about a quarter of my viewers who are not subscribers. And for those of you who are, thank you. And for those of you who are not, please consider pressing subscribe, and also make sure that you click the notifications on. So, again, thank you for joining me. And as always, I wish you balance, and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you, and see you next time. Bye.